Art of Business this week focuses on managing competencies, what we say people issues, people and your business. In Zambia, most companies are said to fail because they place little value in people or human resource. And some employ children while others overemploy out of sympathy. For the others, there are no formal structures, and the issues of recruitment are always avoided. People don't follow the processes, and as a result, their businesses are affected. How do we make HR or human resource or people issues the center stage of Zambian entrepreneurship? What kind of business mindset should an entrepreneur have with regard to employees and how they can contribute successfully to your business success? And featuring this evening is a business consultant with a special emphasis on HR issues, and that's Miss Miyanda Maimbo Kahare. My pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us about your business, first of all, Miyanda.
Okay, ProSoft Human Resource is what I like to call a young and very energetic consultancy firm. And I think past history or experience has tended to look at consultancy or consultants as more the mature people who have retired and are now sort of looking at work to do after their retirement. So ProSoft is a very young and highly innovative human resource consultancy firm. And we have certain services that we focus on, and our major task is to offer up-to-date, cost-effective HR solutions to the business community. And when I talk about the business community, we're looking at whether it's government, whether it's the non-profit making organizations or the private sector. Our services are wide. We start with, for example, recruitment and selection, which some people would rather call placements, and I think borrowing from a term from the past, employment assistance. So we are like a central point where an employer can come to us and get assistance in terms of finding the right qualified and experienced personnel. At the same time, the employee or the potential employee job seeker comes to the same forum to get us to assist them in terms of getting jobs. So we're almost like a central market where we bring the employer and the employee together, and to be able to give the employer the right skills and the employee the right organization to work in.
Yeah, people like you were not there before in Zambia. Of course, the market has changed. Yeah. What, in your opinion, has led to the growth in sector like employment, job brokers like yourselves?
Okay, I like to use the term human resource consultant because it's broad. What has brought about the need for recruitment consultants is business has looked at the environment and they want to create transparency in the recruitment process. I think what we will see in the past is that normally people would recruit relatives, which meant that other people that were not qualified didn't get the same opportunity getting into that environment. And at the same time, we are looking at the HR manager or the human resource manager in an organization to be able to concentrate more on the strategic human resource area of the business, as opposed to sitting the whole day and opening envelopes and shortlisting. That is something that a human resource consultant or recruitment consultant is specialized in doing. We want to take that away from them and allow them enough time to focus on developing employees, the strategic side of the business, managing performance within an environment and looking after the employees, as opposed to sitting there and going through application letters.
You've been exposed, of course, to the Zambian business. You've been in Zambia for 2 years now, from Zimbabwe and Absolutely. So forth. Yeah, and you've been operating in this environment. You exposed the business environment. What are the key challenges of the Zambian entrepreneur with regard to HR issues?
I think one of the things that I have come to realize or to pick up as I interact with other people in smaller businesses is that the concept of managing people hasn't really sunk in. What I'm trying to say is we don't really understand that people are the key drivers of any environment or any business environment. And hence you find that we are stuck in a position where we are either forced to recruit cheap labor for different reasons. Maybe it's because we can't afford to employ professionals. And then also in order to compensate that labor according to the standards that are required by the environment or the economy. I think those are the major challenges. We sort of look at HR on the sideways and don't look at it as something that contributes directly to the profitability of any organization, whether it's a small organization or a bigger organization.
Yeah, but talking about the Zambian entrepreneur, do you believe that they got the acumen for business, entrepreneurship, and so forth?
Absolutely.
What makes you say so?
I think I don't look at business acumen as something that you can say it is peculiar to a particular country. I think every country has got its stronger entrepreneurs, and other countries don't have. But when I look at the Zambian market, we definitely have people who've got the business acumen. The challenge that we face, especially when we look at the small business enterprises, is we tend to think within the confines of what we have, and we don't look outside of the business in terms of growth. We would rather have a small little shop at the corner and make or break even, as opposed to looking at developing that business into a conglomerate or a multinational organization. So I think that is one of the challenges that we face as small businesses. Our levels of determination and commitment are questionable. Our focus on one area of specialty is also questionable. I think we focus more on our weaknesses. And so we tend to try to develop our weaknesses as opposed to identifying your strengths and then focusing on that and specializing in an area that you're good at.
Well, the Zimbabwean environment, we find people are very aggressive. They have got this entrepreneurial culture.
Absolutely.
Is it because of the capitalist nature of the two environments? Here we had socialism, and there they had capitalism.
Okay, having had quite a wide experience in the Zimbabwean market, both as an employee, as an employer, I think it is the competition that is there keeps you on your toes. You find that in as opposed to this environment, there isn't that much in terms of aggressive competition. In a Zimbabwean environment, you cannot afford to take a nap. You've got to watch what is happening in the market. You've got to continuously innovate. You've got to continuously read and find out what else it is that you can do for the business. Here we are a little bit relaxed, because the competition hasn't come up. But I think that is an environment that is going to change, or is changing as we look at it at the moment. We're getting a lot of foreign investors coming in. So we need to sort of change our gear and then, take up that global perspective in terms of the way we do business, even if it is a small business. You've got to focus on growing that business into, something that is, recognized.
But how come most businesses today treat HR issues as a by-the-way thing?
I must say that it's actually very sad that happens. I would like to look at this from two angles. We as HR practitioners ourselves, I think, have not taken a grasp on our place in the business environment. I'll give an example of a time when I worked once as a customer relationship manager. And most of the times when we sat and had our management meetings, you would find that a mini check would be done to say, is the marketing manager here? We wanted to discuss how to deal with the competition that has come in. And the marketing manager is there, the finance manager is there. And if the HR manager or human resource manager wasn't there, it wasn't a big deal. It was, we'll fill him up when he comes in. The reason is, as human resource people, we haven't been able to broaden our perspective in terms of understanding the financial side of business, understanding the marketing side of the business, the operation side of the business. Just a quick check in the current environment in Zambia. How many managing directors come from a human resource background? There are very few. Most times
only Southern Water and Storage Company, I know.
Yeah. At least we've got one, but mostly it's from the marketing perspective or the financial background or the operations background, because these people have taken time to broaden their scope in terms of the business as a whole. Looking at the business that we are in, consultancy, I've had to wear two different hats. I've had to wear one hat as a consultant, a human resource consultant, and I've had to wear another hat where I'm also a salesperson and I'm a marketer, and I need to be able to walk into a boardroom and do a boardroom presentation to a board of directors and convince them that I can recruit a geologist on their behalf, despite the fact that I'm not a technical expert in terms of geology. So it's our ability to wear the different hats in terms of business perspective that results in us sort of being sidelined and, on the wayside.